Scholars, welcome to the counselor's office. Sad Sonic Cup. Yep. Praise be the Sonic Cup. You know, it's interesting. The narrative. Gamers are killing games every day. That narrative dies even more because there's new things that come out that just immediately disprove and debunk that bullshit. And this time, it's greedy fucking billion-dollar Corpo. Who would have thought it? Right? We've been trying to push for the gamer revolution. And I don't know, man. It doesn't matter if a game is good. It doesn't matter if a game is ass. It could be incredibly successful among gamers, or at least sales-wise. And still people will get fucking laid off. I don't think it matters what anyone does anymore. That's right. We've got to talk about it. EA has laid off an unknown number of individuals from across its Battlefield teams following its record-shattering launch for Battlefield 6, which was the best-selling game of 2025 in the United States. Which, by the way, I thought Battlefield 6 was amazing. The problem, and this is the problem that many live service games have now, is it had traction and they did nothing with it. They didn't. To keep a live service alive, you have to service it. And EA did fuck all for Battlefield 6. Like, I don't even know if they added new maps. It's been so long since I played that, and I hated the progression system. Was just awful. It was completely intended to drag and make you, spend a lot of time for nonsensical things. It was just awful. They nerfed multiple things. So don't get the progression. And it got so bad that they even did like an XP lobby. Like, people were finding ways to cheese stuff, and so they made their own XP bot lobby. Like, it's bad, right? It was just bad. There was a lot of bad decisions, but the sales still, it's a good game. At its foundation, Battlefield 6 was a good foundation. It beat Call of Duty. It shat on Call of Duty, making Call of Duty look like a fucking joke. But they couldn't continue with the momentum. Now, which is crazy, apparently having record-shattering launch isn't enough. You have to consistently be producing a shit ton of money. And it makes no sense to me. So Battlefield 6 was fastest-selling Battlefield game ever. 7 million copies sold in 3 days. Best-selling game in the US, sold way more than COD. Estimated sales over 20 million by late 2025, and people get laid off. If being the number one bestseller is not enough, then what is? Greed, it's one hell of a drug. Well, we'll look at EA's article in a minute. Now, Legendary Drops does drop and say this. I don't know if this is true. EA reportedly expects Battlefield 6 to have 100 million players, 3 times more than the series bestsellers. So 100 million players, and it sold 20 million. This is the problem. If this is true, these greedy corpos, we shit on Sony a lot and Bungie, right? But we got to forget that Nintendo's greedy, but for some reason they don't do layoffs. People just give them Nintendo their money. EA is greedy. Ubisoft has been going down the gutter and people are shitting on it for years at this point. But EA shut down Anthem, and we were upset. They wouldn't service it, they gave up on it, and then they shut it down. No money back bullshit, right? Stop killing games. EA is one of the reasons why that got started in the first place. So having that on the record, they're also the pieces of shit that are laying people off because they set unrealistic standards. And that's the thing. People are like, gamers, you're killing games. No, it's the billion-dollar companies, because they push out slop, and yet they demand high numbers. They demand your money. In this case, Battlefield 6 at launch was good. Outside of the progression system was awful. It was a good game. It was beloved. It was fantastic. It had a lot of heat going into it. It's just they didn't provide any substance afterwards. Like, they treated it like it was a single player multiplayer game like Halo or something, and which would have worked in 2010 or the 2000s. We're 2026 where the demand is continued upkeep. But the upkeep went to their battle royale, which honestly, I think we're at a state where battle royales outside of maybe Call of Duty just aren't really exciting. Like Fortnite, Call of Duty, those are kind of like your mainstay battle royals. I don't think people really cared about Red-esque or whatever it's called. I'll call it Red for short. The Red Battle Royale, and that it had a lot of problems too. But that's where they put all they wanted to be a Call of Duty competitor in that sense, but they had the bread and butter in the multiplayer itself. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter because the game itself, 20 million. They're 80 million off the mark if this is true. Like, this is insane. Let's see if EA's got any inside information. I've not looked at the article. EA has laid off an unknown number of individuals, including workers from Criterion, DICE, Ripple Effect, and Motive Studios. Individuals are being informed that the layoffs are taking place as part of the realignment across the Battlefield studios as the team continues on its ongoing live service support for Battlefield 6 following launch, which is so weird. Like, I feel like EA has multiple studios. Why is it the one that actually had a successful launch, the one that's being, realigned? Also, why is it not the head honchos that are losing their jobs? It's never the head honchos, the ones that are making these awful decisions. They never lose their jobs. It's always the little guys, the middlemen. Live service, as the team continues ongoing live service support for Battlefield 6 following launch, all 4 studios will remain operational, though the layoffs seem to be impacting a variety of teams across multiple studios and offices. IGN asked EA for comment on total number and types of roles impacted, as well for the specific reasons for the layoff. An EA spokesperson probably gave you generic statements, right? And I haven't read this, but we're just going to read it now. They said, "We've made select changes within our Battlefield organization to better align our teams around what matters most to our community. Battlefield remains one of our biggest priorities, and we're continuing to invest in the franchise, guided by player feedback and insights from the Battlefield lab." So that's all great. Like, this statement, fantastic. Invest in the franchise, guided by player. But why do you gotta lay people off for that? Why do people get fired for that? Like, realignments, just say you're firing people. It's a fancy way of saying we're realigning. No, you're firing people. If you were saying, hey, we're shuffling people around, we're moving spots, they're still going to be part of EA. We're just going to put them in different departments. Cool, great. That's at least people. You're firing people. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. Realignment, ass alignment. You're firing people. Battlefield 6 was the best-selling game of 2025. It sold a record-shattering 7 million copies in 3 days, up to 20 million. We gave it its multiplayer an 8 out of 10 at launch. It was really good. The campaign suck ass. I do need to mention the campaign was very mid. It was, compared to like Bad Company story, back to the classic Battlefields, the campaign was pretty mid. Nowhere near as bad as Call of Duty's campaign, though. However, the months since Battlefield 6 launch have seen the game begin to struggle from patch to patch. Fans have criticized the number of updates due to reasons ranging from cosmetics to movement, and 3 months in, Steam reviews have fallen to mixed from a mostly positive start. Is that true? Let's just go pull it up now. Let's see. Battlefield. Do I even have it installed anymore? Oh, I do have it. I just haven't updated it. So let's look at store page. What are we? Ooh. Damn. Only 69 giggity. are positive, which is such a shame because, like I said, it's not. It was a return to form. Like, it was the classic Battlefield experience that people loved. They just did not capitalize on it. That's oof. Big fucking oof. Game is just okay. The UI is disgusting. Keep spamming me about game modes I don't care about. Yeah, I do have to say that it feels weird. It feels more like Fortnite with all the random ass game modes. Like, it's weird. Rep. Didn't keep me playing the way Bad Company, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 did. Regret purchase. Wish I could refund it. How many hours? Almost 100 hours. Damn. Really want to leave a positive review. I will still play it, but really wish the team would focus on creating maps and permanent content rather than limited time crap that does not have a long lasting impact. Wait, there's limited time events? I know they're doing battle passes, and I fucking hate when that's the whole reason they're doing the battle royales to force their stupid battle passes. I miss the days where you could just they would sell maps. And I know that map packs and stuff like that. Like, I loved map packs because you got good content, generally good content. I remember buying the Halo 2 map pack, and those were some juicer maps. I find it really, really weird that we like, and obviously people complained about it separating the player base, but really it forced people either buy the maps or miss out on the fun. And if I like the game, I'm okay with buying maps because then you don't have to worry. You're actually getting a service, because the thing is, if it's free, that means it's probably gonna be a lower quality. Whereas if it's paid, you've got to stick to hold out. Like, hey, I paid for this. Why is the content bad? Why is it worse? God forbid, 400 hours. God forbid decent sized maps get released. And fuck you, SBM. Give us persistent servers. So much potential wasted by typical scummy EA greed. And there you go. Unfortunately, the greed is passed on to the little guys. Steam concurrents have also dropped significantly following Battlefield 6 big launch. When it hit a huge 700k peak, Steam concurrents are now typically in the tens of thousands. For example, Battlefield 6 hit 70k peak concurrent players on Valve's platform yesterday. Of course, Steam numbers do not paint the whole picture of a game's popularity or success. It does give you a trend, though. Given Battlefield 6 is also available on PlayStation, Xbox X, and S, but they do give us a sense of where the game is at. Even IGN fucking understands that. And in Battlefield 6 case, the drop-off may have been more dramatic than EA expected. Meanwhile, the free-to-play Battlefield Royale, RedSec, okay, that's what's called, it's RedSec, has problems of its own with a mostly negative Steam review, rating it for recent posts. Yeah, like, what the fuck? No one wanted that shit. These layoffs come just months after the unexpected death of Battlefield franchise head Vince Zampella in a car accident. I actually didn't know they died. They also came as EA is preparing to be acquired by an investor group composed of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake, and Infinity Partners from approximately $55 billion. Whew. However, the acquisition has not yet closed. It's expected to close in the first quarter of 2027 financial year, or April, May, and June of this year. IGN understands internally EA is stating that layoffs are unrelated to the acquisition. No, like, who knows whether the acquisition or not? It's very obvious that EA is fucking greedy as fuck. I mean, they shut down Anthem instead of investing in it. That's the problem with these greedy companies, is that they want live service to give them a shit ton of money. Let's see how people are reacting. I know so many devs that have left the industry completely because of the shit like this. You aren't even safe after launching a successful game anymore. What these stupid execs don't realize is when you lay people off, a huge knowledge base walks out the door with them, and a lot of time the people remaining have to essentially start from scratch because they aren't equipped to deal with the enormity of AAA game development out of lack of experience. You are witnessing the implosion of the industry in real time. The game industry is going to belong to China, South Korea, and Japan over the next decade. Maybe it should. I mean, honestly, they're producing better games than we are. Like, at this point, they're producing better games than we fucking are. Like, America is producing a bunch of shitters. But yeah, they're completely right. It's not gamers that are going to destroy it. It's the greedy corps, the corpos. They're going to turn gaming into corpse. Like, there's slivers of hope, like Capcom and Resident Evil, and then indie games. Like, I see a world where there's going to be those niche AAAs, which maybe it's going to harken back to the classic days, because people like to think all the classics were bangers. There was more duds than there were good games. But it feels like we're going to go back to where there's going to be that one masterclass game, and instead of having a bunch of duds that people force themselves to play, it's just going to be indie games that are going to take over. And these AAA greedy corpo companies are going to, implode and devour themselves. And it's unfortunate that people who want to be, game developers, that's their dream. Your dream is probably a toxic wasteland. It is like, you might as well just don't. Because apparently your game could be really successful and your job is bye-bye. It could be bye-bye because some greedy corpo didn't get their fucking Lamborghini. Generally, what the fuck? Best selling title in the franchise, ranking in millions for EA. Oh, raking millions for EA, and then do this. It's because they probably didn't get enough microtransactions. Let's be honest. I think a game like this back like 20 years ago would be considered fantastic for most companies. I think people have seen the amount of money that Fortnite gets, and I think Fortnite has, in some degree, caused irreversible harm to gaming. With the amount, and maybe even CSGO, because people with the loot boxes really kickstarted everything. Because it was loot boxes, then it went to battle passes, and before that it was map packs and actual DLC, which people were fine with. Expansions, people were fine with that. Then it became loot boxes, and then battle passes, and now it's free to play games with battle passes and skins and pay to win bullshit. And now just having a successful launch means nothing if you're not having a constant, steady stream of cash. If you're not selling a shit ton of cosmetics, if you're not selling that MTX, baby, you are a failure. Which is why I always talk about Marathon and Bungie. People are thinking that it's successful. I say it doesn't fucking matter, apparently, what the gamers think, because of the greedy corporation of Sony, like EA, thinks that it's not making enough money, then it might get canned. Or at least I think Bungie would get canned. Like, in this instance, they're not shutting down Battlefield 6. And so maybe, in my train of thought with Sony and Bungie and, Marathon, they wouldn't can Marathon, but they'll can people in Bungie. And it does suck because there are some people who don't deserve to lose their job. Like, they're forced to do these things that they don't want to do because they know the gamers don't like, and they have this amazing talent, and they're forced against their will. Granted, my thought is just get the heck out of there, but a lot of people will stick to it until they're fired because of some corpo exec that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and all they want is another Lambo in the garage. This is so fucking depressing. Sold millions of copies, still not to keep your job. The people running these major publishers need to get the hell out of there. EA rewards expertise and wild success with layoffs. When your game gets worse, it's 100% because of disgusting decisions by execs who don't care for the devs that make their success, or for the institutional knowledge that allows for future greater games. This needs change. Going back to Bungie, Destiny, we are seeing what happens live with like Destiny. When you remove and lay off core parts, or you force people to just abandon the studio because of stupid decisions, that knowledge goes with them. And we've seen Destiny literally, like, we go all time. This is what happens. This is Destiny 2. This is what happens when you push your knowledgeable developers and leaders out the door, this is the outcome. It kills the game. 100% it kills the game. It kills the game. And it's kind of scary. It's like, how many people who are core parts of Battlefield that really know the secret, the magic, the Battlefield, the things that people love from Bad Company and Battlefield 3 and 4, like that's that secret sauce. How many people are going to be booted out? And that's how you get situations where you get Battlefield 2042. Just this awful, awful, awful experience. Also, you've got to think the morale. If I'm a game developer and I crank out what is seemingly a success, even though obviously now it's getting negative reviews, but when it was at launch, it was a success. We brought in a lot of sales, and now people are losing their jobs. It's like, why? If I was someone, why would I put 110% outside of the love of what my job, outside of that? Why would I put 100% into it knowing that I could still be fired? I could put 100% in and I'll still be fired? Nah, I'm good. Well, it looks like BF6 is done. I don't think it's done. Welcome to the game industry where you can do everything right and make people a lot of money and still be thrown into the garbage. Yep. I've been talking about this for months. There's a major realignment sweep through the gaming industry. There's strategic focus on running projects with smaller teams. Even if Battlefield 6 had retained more CCU consistently, I would put good money on the fact that these layoffs, or whatever they are, would still happen. Other factors to consider: EA is going private, focused on reduced cost. EA ramped up the Battlefield team significantly. Rumor projects like broader Battlefield World would never worked out. Something I predicted would never see the light of day. RedSec did not see the player attachment expected. And again, guess whose fault that is? That is EA's and the leaders. That's their fault. EA laying off BF6 Studio explains their strategy. BF6 lost 85% of Steam players within months. Record means nothing if cash bleeds. EA wants IPs that hold players, and Mass Effect has held a huge fan base without a new game since 2017. That's why it hasn't been cut yet. What are you talking about? What? Huh? Mass Effect is a single player game. What crack are you smoking? Mass Effect isn't a live service game. What crack cocaine is this person smoking? Unfortunately, news. Battlefield 6 showed so much promise at launch, but failed to deliver in post-launch content. Agreed. Fans only wanted larger maps. When they didn't get any, it seemed they moved on. Battlefield 6 is still an awesome game overall. Agreed. By the way, this person, marathon shill, nutball. But I could still agree with them on different takes. Just because you disagree on someone on one take doesn't mean you can't agree with them on others. And I think us as gamers in general, no matter where you come from, no matter like who you shill for, I think we could all agree that when a good game, like obviously like beloved, I don't know if I would say beloved, or about like overwhelmingly approved at launch, seeing people get rewarded with the loss of a job is not okay, right? It's not acceptable. Plus, here's another thing. Battlefield 6 forced Call of Duty to make changes that people wanted in the new Black Ops. Even though the Black Ops failed to meet expectations, they still made changes because of the threat of Battlefield 6. And so when you have that competition, it forces innovation, or it forces change, such as providing what the consumer wants. And it's because of that success as gamers, we are seeing improvement in the products that we're trying to buy. So, I mean, in general, like this, it's not okay that people are losing their jobs because of greed. Like, it's not okay. And I would say the same thing about, Bungie. There are some great people at Bungie. I would love to see every leader at Bungie get kicked out, though. Like, I will celebrate if they absorb Bungie and they kick out all the leaders of Bungie. I will celebrate because fuck them. Oh, Jesus. Make a bad game, fired. Make good game, fired. Make incredibly successful game, believe it or not, also fired. This game is a big scam. It's missing so much work. The quality of Battlefield 6 is poor. The aim inputs still have issues, and the TTK and TTD are completely messed up. Whoever built the aim in, okay, well, I mean, everyone's has their right to their opinion. I don't know about that. Battlefield laying off devs. We remember they won 100 million players before launch. Once again, I think mainstream gaming needs to reinvent itself. Remember, it's not gamers killing games. It is greedy corpos. Reminder, corporations don't care about you. They don't care about you as a consumer, and they definitely don't care about their own, employees. Isn't that crazy? Anytime I call out people who shill for corpos, and I call out the corpo scum, who would have thought? Because they're anti-gamer. They're anti, like, even if they're firing people within their own company, it's still anti-gamer because that's experience going out the window because greed. Timely for those pertaining Middle and East. Okay, don't know what's going on there. I generally don't understand how EA fumbles the best launch of an FPS game. All you had to do was make the updates and content good, man. Greed. Yep, there's another one. Game underperforms. Layoffs. Game is a huge success. Believe it or not, also layoffs. It's a commonality here. It seriously sucks massive ass that buying game is no longer supporting the studio because publishers are greedy fucks. Yes, that's the truth. You no longer are doing enough by simply buying game. If you are not giving them your entire paycheck, someone else will lose their job. And now I'm going to say this right now. That's not the consumer's fault. And we've already seen like companies try to make it sound like it's the consumer's fault. I think Bungie did that like several years ago. Oh yeah. Pete Parsons tried that bullshit. Tried to make it sound like it was the players not supporting that reason why people lost their jobs. Like fuck corpo bitches. But that's it, right? Record-breaking launch, still layoffs. Ah, yes, record-shattering launch. DICE fails to deliver on content and quality of life. Player number dips. So naturally, the solution is to lay off staff because that'll definitely improve response times and the most requested changes. EA is so smart. The gaming industry is so volatile. Working for a AAA company seems like playing Russian roulette. You're better off finding an indie company where you can actually build your career. You go work with EA and you're getting fired before you even know it. I mean, look at Anthem, BioWare. Like, are we like, you don't, Ubisoft, you're probably gonna get fired. EA, you're probably gonna get fired. Sony, you're probably gonna get fired. Nintendo, hey, if you can get a Nintendo, you're probably set because I don't think has Nintendo done layoffs? Nintendo layoffs? Nintendo initially the layoff approximately 200 contract employees, particularly within the customer support service, as it moves to restructure and outsource these operations ahead of switch to the following restructure efforts impacted testers and support staff. The full-time staff retention remains high. Okay, so try to be a full-time employee and you'll be good. Don't be a tester. Don't be support staff. Be a developer or something, core to Nintendo. And you've got your job. Don't worry. So Nintendo's safe. Mostly safe. Just, there you go. It's all good. Join Nintendo. They're scummy and shitty to their consumers, but hey, at least they're respectful to their employees mostly. So, shout out to them. It was taking a while until, while can we expect EA is always the worst? I mean, it's a competition. You've got Sony, Bungie. You got Ubisoft. Then you got EA, you've got Nintendo trying to squeak in there, and then you also somewhere you have to fit in. Like, who else was fitting into this competition here? Damn, those are the ones that come to mind. Activision, kind of. Yeah, I mean, they're pretty shitty to their consumers, but they're not the worst. And did they do layoffs? Activision layoffs. Let's see. Microsoft is enacting significant layoffs across the gaming divisions. So again, this is Microsoft, not Activision itself. But yeah, you still got to be careful, Microsoft. You have essentially just Nintendo. Go Nintendo, you'll be safe. Games are so whack. Can be so successful, and it truly doesn't matter. The other side, I don't know what needs to be done, but need to find a way to get back to actually getting post-launch content. However, we've gone 3 to 5 maps, a lot of guns, etc. Nearly nothing new. Nothing now is awful. If this is due to the player numbers falling off a cliff, maybe give the players more content in a season. 2 maps, a few guns, maybe a vehicle or 2 just isn't going to keep people playing regularly. I don't see the amount of content increasing either, so it's probably GG's. How many map packs? Map packs. Battlefield. Let's do 3, 4. All right. Let's do Battlefield 4. I love Battlefield 4. So, China Rising. Second Assault. So, let's see. Naval Strike, Dragon's Teeth, Final Stand. So, it's expanded for at least 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. From December to December. Or maybe a year. What about China Rising? China. New maps. You got 4 maps, a new game mode, a new vehicle, a bunch of new weapons. Okay. What about Second Assault? 4 new maps, new game mode, new vehicle, more weapons. What about Naval Strike? New maps, 4 of them, no game mode, new gun or new vehicle, new and gadgets. You got gadgets and weapons. By the way, this is the map. What I'm talking about, this map pack. You get guns, you get access to the maps, you get access to the vehicle and gadgets. Like, you're paying for this. And I would still support this. I think this is great and better than what we've been getting. Is that planned expansion for Battlefield 4? Okay, so they never came back to update this. Great, groovy. What about Final Stand? Did you ever update this? No, they never came back. So we can expect that's pretty similar. I don't know, man. I think we could all agree that gaming just kind of is in a hot spot right now. Like, you got indie games popping off. You got your moments to moment AAA games that have stood out, like Resident Evil 9 right now. Capcom clearly destroying this currently this year. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, we can all agree that Battlefield 6 has issues for its extended life, but it had a massive successful launch. Like 20 million copies sold at $60. That's a shit ton. So I don't know, man. It doesn't matter whether you're a good game or a bad game, you could still get fired. I really am. We should never hear anyone ever say gamers want games dead or gamers are the reason why games die. No, at this point, we can all agree it's greedy fucking corpos. They are ruining gaming for everyone, for the developers and for the consumers. And it sucks. And I would say speak with your money, but apparently that doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't. You don't buy anything, people lay off. You buy things, people get laid off. So it's like, what do you do as a gamer? How do you make a stand? Do we just all just go to indie games? Like, I don't know. Like, it throws a wrench in the plan of the gamer revolution. If we were all to, stand against something, what people, like, I just don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't have the answer. So, yeah, it's a sad ending to the video, but it's like, I don't know. I'm flabbergasted. Well, I'll see you guys in the next one. Game out.